Maplestory undergoes a large revamp. Gaijin Entertainment rolls out the Ground Forces beta, and Riot adds new restrictions to pro players' contracts. These stories and more are on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Despite Maplestory 2 being in development, developer Nexon has decided to continue supporting the original. In fact, they just rolled out part 1 of a 3-part update, which signals one of the game's larger content additions in recent memory. Explorer class revamps, a new zone, profession updates, mastery book changes, and even an anime trailer are all part of the update. With all new skills and quests, the warrior, magician, bowman, thief, and pirates are all gaining a massive overhaul. The Explorer family grew just a little bit in the update as well, with dual blades and cannoneers being reclassified as explorers. Additionally, Dawnvale has a new trading hub for players to explore, Commercy. The new region features a dynamic day and night cycle and also introduces a new trade system. Neverwinter's last module, Shadowmantle, went live last week, adding quite an impressive amount of new features. Players will now get to experience using a bow in-game for the first time thanks to the new class added, the Hunter Ranger. This bow-wielding class has the ability to dish out ranged combat attacks and switch to melee in a blink of an eye. As with the previous module, Shadowmantle brings with it a new zone called Dreadring. In this new zone, players will work to prevent the evil Lich Valindra from raising a Dracolich. The new zone also comes complete with a new campaign that includes special rewards. Lastly, Shadowmantle is introducing Paragon Paths in the game for all original classes, allowing players to completely change the combat style of their characters. As Riot looked towards the start of its 4th season of competitive League of Legends, the company has made new adjustments to its League of Legends Championship Series regulations, which significantly changes how professional players can operate their streams. Currently, the LCS pays a salary to professional teams which compete within the series and assists them in getting visas for tournament travel. Each year, these teams must sign an LCS contract, which among other things dictates the rules and regulations they must adhere to as a professional player. Under this new contract, players are now obligated to refrain from streaming over a dozen titles. As you might expect, a large majority of these titles fall within what Riot could classify as a MOBA, or aka competition. Notable titles include Dota 2, all Blizzard games, Smite, War Thunder, World of Tanks, and even Fat Princess. The move mirrors what other non-compete clauses looks like for figureheads not only representing other real sports but products as well. Riot isn't preventing other non-professional league streamers from streaming other content, only those that fall under their employment. Gaijin just announced the start of the closed beta and the release of a new alpha gameplay trailer for War Thunder's upcoming tank expansion, Ground Forces. Trailer marks the first time Gaijin has shown their response towards the current reigning champion World of Tanks. One of the highly touted features set to make an appearance in Ground Forces involves the integration of both ground and aerial combat. In the trailer, the inclusion of a biplane being shot from the sky solidifies our hope that Ground Forces will indeed make strides in combining the two into one cohesive gaming experience, although it is unknown to what extent. Players who participated in the special events Gaijin hosted with War Thunder should check their emails to see if they've received their Ground Forces closed beta invitation. Players who aren't interested in waiting can purchase special collector's tank packs, which include unique premium vehicles, exclusive decals, and titles. Gaijin says they will be gradually increasing the number of testers every day and will update the announcement with additional ways to earn beta keys soon. The ecological apocalypse that is Survarium is inching towards their closed beta, according to the latest dev diary by Vostok Games. The MMO FPS places players in a world of collapsing societies, where humans are no longer king. Players will encounter poisonous plants, mutants, wild animals, and yet unknown threats of anomalies as they explore the environment. In their latest update, Vostok gave players information about their access options for the upcoming closed beta. According to Oleg Yavorsky of Vostok Games, they've already begun to enroll a fairly large number of players into testing and have sent out invites on a weekly basis. Yavorsky goes on to explain that registering on the site and participating in the forums and social networks will increase chances of obtaining keys. Survarium's site will also have an invites lottery that rewards 3 applicants every hour with keys. Survarium's next task is to focus on purely gameplay, start working with the balance, the in-game economy, as well as increase the server workload to test how the servers behave under really heavy loads with a large number of players. Curious to find out when the beta starts? According to Yavorsky, we plan to begin that by the end of November, which is very soon. Yes, that was very soon. Despite only being an alpha, ambitious sandbox MMORPG The Repopulation underwent some major modifications in November, as lead developer Joshua Hall detailed in a lengthy update list. Among the changes include a new structure placement UI that gives players lots more options for placing, rotating, and resizing their decor. Seeing as how the game will revolve around player-created cities, one could assume that's a pretty big deal. A new calendar system will allow developers to better schedule events, and a new diplomacy skill lets you hug it out with NPCs to figure out their problems and how you can best solve them, probably with a murderous impulse. New missions, enhanced models, animations, combat improvements, PvP zones, and more were added to this update. But let's not ignore the most important addition to the game, a new readable book, Cold Silver, which is a philosophical look at the notion of clones. More information regarding the Repopulation's alpha process can be found by visiting the link in the description box below. And the game of the week is Elsword. Elsword is a side-scrolling action anime MMORPG developed by KOG Studios featuring fast-paced, skill-centered gameplay. In Elsword, players traverse the land of Elrios, smashing through enemies and leveling up to unlock new job classes and skills. As players explore the world, they will travel to 8 unique regions, each containing a central town and up to 6 dungeons. Dungeons are instanced, offering co-op play for up to 4 players at a time. Some dungeons feature branching paths, light puzzle solving, and interactive elements such as collapsing buildings. Elsword allows players to choose one of several unique characters, each with their own unfolding backstories and distinct abilities. Characters include destructive melee bruisers, powerful magic users, deadly gun wielders, and more. Each of the 6 characters available can unlock multiple class changes, leading to increased abilities and new skills. Recent updates to Elsword has introduced high-level class evolutions that allow players to specialize their characters even further. Each class now offers new and more powerful abilities, as well as greatly changing how the character looks. If you find yourself craving boundless combos, heart-racing PvP, and dazzling animations, be sure to check out Elsword. And that is going to be all on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below. And be sure to head over to MMOBomb.com for more free-to-play action. Until next time, Natsumii.